Oh, hi. My name is Soren. Was someone asking about me? Was it my ex? Shade? No? Okay, well, up until recently, I was a bartender in Germany while studying philosophy in my free time. As I'm sure you can imagine, it was very surprising to me to discover that I was actually one of the Wisle from the Order of the Vance here in Santorin. When I was pulled back, I decided to continue my study of philosophy and found that it had even more meaning when viewed in the context of the invisible sun and the structure of the universe. I have dedicated myself to the study of the true nature of things and their true names. Shortly after returning, I was reunited with my childhood best friend, Lucas, and I'm very glad for their friendship as we all try to recover after the war. The war. What a delightful mystery it is. I would love to learn the true nature of that someday. But for now, I will continue my studies, read in my free time, and... oh yeah, I liked bartending so much I picked up a few evening shifts. You know, just for fun.
Why, hello. Have you come to me from the Pale, wayward spirit? You may call me Lucas. I study the veil between life and death, and how these energies may be tapped into by those in the waking world. No, I am no member of any schools or circles or cloisters. I'm an independent researcher, an apostate. That is why I am able to devote so much of my time to my meditation and research without interruption. You see, in my youth, I was preparing to join one of the magical institutions, but the war, it interrupted my studies. Yes, I went to ground for some time, to the land of shadow. I found myself in a place called Boston. It was quaint, if not a bit rough around the edges. My memories from those days are hazy at best. I've only recently returned here to Santorin now, which is just as well. My time away has given me newfound vigor and a specific focus for my talents as a Wisle. For my part, I hope to study a way to travel back and forth freely between the realms of the living and that of the dead. Perhaps, if I am lucky, I may find a way to bring back those who have crossed over in death. Though I remain uncertain of one particular fact. Do those from the realm of shadow find their way to walk beneath the pale sun? I hope to uncover this truth, for my own sake.
Oh, how embarrassing for you. My sister should be just around the corner. I'm sure that's who you meant to find. No? Interesting. You may call me Soraya. Manners would dictate I ask for your name in return, but I have no desire to know the name of someone I will likely never again acknowledge. I'm sorry, were you expecting a friendlier interaction? What an awkward assumption to make. I'm afraid there's not much to know about me. I spent most of my time in the shadow maintaining the ledgers for some of my sister's more illicit activities. I didn't particularly want to get involved, but I always did have a hard time saying no to Shade. Here in Fartown, my loyalty remains unchanged. Despite our very different social preferences, there is nothing I wouldn't do for her. And I do mean nothing. While she breaks hearts everywhere she goes, I much prefer the company of the demonic beings I summon. They have proven to be far less exasperating. Don't be mistaken, I do have a few select companions. I just don't have time for insipid fools, which, quite frankly, is the majority of the general population. There are many things I wish to accomplish, things that I have no intention of sharing with a stranger I just met, but I can assure you my endeavors keep me busy, and as such I care very little for idle conversation, which, coincidentally enough, is exactly what this has been.
Hi, I'm Scheherazade, more commonly known as Shade. But let's be honest, you probably already knew that. Why, yes, this is my party. Ignore my brooding sister in the corner. She would prefer that. Before we came back to Fartown, Soraya and I lived quite the life in Mexico City, where I made the most interesting friends. I developed quite a habit of eliminating anyone who made trouble for me or my sister. So my work in the city was simple, easy, straightforward. Nothing like the life I returned to here. I was able to bring back my most prized possession, my Colt Python. Yes, that's a gun. And no, I'm not afraid to use it. But you don't have to worry about that. We're friends, right? Maybe more. Who knows? I do have a lot of friends. Even still, there are some problems my trusty Colt and itchy trigger finger can't fix. Recently, I've had something taken from me. Something I can't live without. And I will weave the deepest depths of darkness and the hottest fires of hell to get it back. Anyone who can help me will earn a loyal companion. Anyone who stands in my way, well, you know what they say. Old habits die hard.
Hi, I'm Alanna Albion. I just returned to Saturn not too long ago. I'm finding it a bit difficult to acclimate, if I'm being honest. This world, it's so different than the peaceful life I left behind in Shadow. Everything here is so terrifying, so strange. Walking words, angels on street corners, malicious mirrors. Some days I find myself paralyzed with fear and indecision as I face new choices. What I should do, how I should live. It becomes so much that I break, shatter, into 1,000 literal pieces before I gather the strength to reform. I know I lived a life here before the war, but I view things differently now. I'm not the same as I once was. While I struggle to reacclimate to the strangeness of this world, there are a couple things that still make sense, that bring comfort. Weaving magic comes as easy to me now as it did before, and my gardening hobby from Shadow not only helped me find a job, but also brought some peace. Not to mention I've got a few friends, new and old, and they're certainly making the slow transition easier. But my heart aches for those who I left behind in my old life. I know I could go back to Shadow. Nothing is stopping me. I can go back to my peaceful life in the cabin, with Peanut, with Lycia. But I can't in good consciousness go back to something I know didn't exist.
Hi, I'm Dex.
Hey, hi, howdy, everybody. I'm also Dax.
Well, no, you're Stacy. And this is the role play. Oh, wait, no, we're not doing the role play cafe today, Stacy. We're
This
doing
is Fourth Watch. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God, who invited me?
This is the
To
problem.
host
Stacy
something.
and I now are driving the Fourth Watch train for this wonderful
It's gonna
Invisible
be
Sun
a train
cast.
wreck. Yeah.
Shh. No,
Oh,
it's going to be
okay.
beautiful. It's going to be magical. It's going to be like the Polar Express, all right?
Yeah. So now that we can all cry about Invisible Sun being done, we can ask our cast members questions, and that's what this Fourth Watch is about. You've been here before. Why
And
am
for
I
those of you
talking
that are
like
new, we're going to take, Stacy and I are going to take turns. We're going to ask questions that people have sent to us ahead of time. They're going to be directed at the group as a whole or directed to specific individuals. So who knows?
I
It's
hope
gonna
you all
be-
studied, because it's going to be one of those.
So speaking of study, let's start this off with a bang. This is a group question for everybody. How did you go about choosing your arc, and why did you pick that specific one?
So I didn't technically choose an arc in the regular way, but what happens is there are 4 books that come with Invisible Sun, and one of them is just basically game mastering guidance for this weird ass game. And one of them is basically, pick a topic you're interested in and make sure to put that in, because you're someone who's playing this game too, and you should also have fun. So I picked the sort of arc of dealing with the war, because that's a big setting mystery that I, quite frankly, don't really like the canon around the result of the war. So this game was my reaction to basically canonize my response in my own games. So it was basically finding something about the setting I didn't like and being like, okay, well, this is how I will respond to that.
I really like that, Alex.
Perfect.
I had no idea.
That's what this fourth watch was for. The more you know. Do you want a popcorn, Alex, or am I gonna pick somebody? Again, I hope you studied, because I could pick anybody. I'm a wild card.
Oh, I think Stacy, you're the only person powerful enough to pick somebody now.
Okay, Mare.
Okay, so my arc was growth. It is a metagaming arc. Basically, the way the arcs work in Invisible Sun is usually you have like a set amount of steps that you need to follow to complete your arc. But this arc is very much something you need to be in control of yourself. I chose that arc because with a lot of my characters, especially in a new system, I have no clue. I don't go in with an idea. I basically built from what was given to me in the books and went with my gut. And honestly, that's just what felt right.
Hell
as
yeah.
I was building Alanna.
Nice.
Can we popcorn? Can I popcorn?
Hell yeah, you can popcorn.
I want to do Josh.
Yeah, so I knew that Soren was a big nerd, because I was told that I had to play Advance, so I played Advance, and so I played a big nerd, and I was like, oh, well, what would a big nerd do? They're going to have a theory about the universe and try to prove it right. So he had a theory about the universe, and then wound up kind of evolving into, hey, I'll bet you I could turn this theory into like some practical magic, because that's what Vances do. So, I mean, yeah, that's the story. It's not that exciting. It was like, hey, nerd stuff.
Well, you did great.
Thanks.
Popcorn, go.
Ren.
I knew you were gonna do that.
It's because we're best friends.
Oh,
Best friends.
Best friends. So, quite frankly, when we went into the character building sections for this game, I had no clue what I was doing, and hell, I still don't. And I part of character creation, I got to, since I was playing an apostate, the only connection I had was to my house, and mechanically I figured, let's make a really weird house. So I did. I tried my best to make a weird house, and I wanted to make it important. So I just kind of went with the defense arc and pitched it to Alex as the GM, say, hey, threaten the aqueduct and I'll do a thing. And Alex was like, that works. I have an idea. And then we went with it. And I think that was about all there was to it, because I really feel like I made a last minute decision with that.
Well, who
Popcorn.
are you picking?
Who am I picking?
Yeah. Pop and pick. Pick and pop.
Yes, up, it's Camille. Camille.
Okay. I picked my first arc. I'm pretty sure that Mindy and I came up with the idea of me being dead first. I'm pretty sure Mindy and I were like, what if something traumatic happened to one of us? And I was like, what if I'm dead? And I asked Alex, I messaged them, I'm like, is this possible? And they were like, fucking sure, why not? Let's do it. And I said, okay. And I tried to find an arc that would work with that. And I think it was the arc of revenge, if I'm not mistaken, Alex?
Defeat a foe.
Defeat a foe. I actually picked up a second arc throughout the campaign, and that second arc became defend. And it was to defend my sister from a threat.
Aww. So cute. Look at you.
Which leads me to Mindy.
Okay, so I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew that my character hated everything and everyone except, but also mostly her sister. So it was very similar to Camille. We kind of had this idea concocted before, and I definitely went to Alex and I was like, hey, Alex, what arc fits with bringing back my sister? I'm not gonna lie, I actually just went back. I don't remember what my arc was. I knew it was tied in. I literally just went back and looked. I don't even know what we ended up deciding on, because I think it was kind of like, I think
your arc was learn.
I think it was learn, and it was learn, or I think it was learn, because we went in that direction because we were like, she can have a mentor who was Emma Elizabeth. But yeah. So that arc was based off of this idea that we had, and then I went to Alex, and they were like, okay, well, let's make it happen.
As an Alex's want to do.
Perfect.
My earrings
So,
fell out.
I'm gonna go on with the second question, which is also for everybody. Get your pencils ready. Are you satisfied with where your character's story arc ended? Would you change anything about it if you could? I'm gonna go with Alex. Popcorn.
So I'll respond basically, I guess, as what I see as like the large scale themes and how our story generally went. And I feel pretty satisfied with the story we told. I think we hit and we stayed pretty on point with a lot of our themes about sort of like reclaiming your life after the war, which was definitely a big one, but also more broad than that. I feel like we told a very responsible story with respect to who our villains were, in that a lot of RPG villainy is like, oh, there's a big bad mysterious other who's like the orcs or the goblins or these other people who do other things, and they're coming into our place, and or something like that. And that wasn't really what I tried to do with our story. I tried to very much make it like, no, you are being challenged by sort of the old keepers of the guard, and I did my best to try and keep us away from any sort of like colonialist things or like punching down at minorities or anything like that. And I feel like overall, I've been trying to do my best to stay aware of the overall RPG discourse that's been going on, and I think we did pretty okay. And I think we told a pretty responsible story, and I took great comfort in that in the end.
Nice. I want to tag something on as well, with specifically you. Did your players do anything that you did not expect that changed the course of the story that you told?
Oh God, what did they do that I did expect? There are a few things. I did not expect anybody to use their secret soul power, which in a 9-session game, I suppose I should have expected. For reference, for those of us who weren't able to see these things occur, a secret soul power is a fantastic one-off ability that is extremely powerful and sort of is very much outside the rules of the sort of like standard game in terms of how powerful it is sometimes. But also, the caveat to that is that when you use this power, your secret name gets released into the world, and if someone knows your secret name, they have power over you. So when Ren is first like, yeah, I'm just gonna use my secret soul power right now, I'm like, wait, you what? And then like later that same fucking session, Camille is like, yeah, I'm gonna use mine. And then like a session or two later, Josh is like, yeah, I'm gonna use mine. I'm like, oh. So I think those were the biggest surprises to me, because there are such big possible consequences. I'm like, no one's gonna touch this. I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Great.
Who you picking to answer this question next? I
I'm
know why
gonna go
talking like
reverse
that.
order. So
I
let's
like
go
it,
with Mindy.
Oh, we're going counterclockwise. Look at us go.
I just noticed the type on Mendicants. Got it.
Oh,
Alright.
I was like, at first I was like, wait, what typo? All I said was hi. I said, hey. I didn't spell that wrong. What was the question was, do I feel satisfied with the arc and how it kind of resolved?
Yeah, and would you change anything about it if you could?
No, I don't think I would. I think specifically for Shade, and I know ow, that was a piece of metal. It's fine. Everything's fine. I think for Shade, Soraya, who did I play in this campaign, y'all? For Soraya, she
Oh boy.
it's fine. I am tired. The arc and progression towards saving her sister, I really like how it unfolded. I like that they had this big build up to this initial ritual that failed. I loved that. I thought it added a layer of authenticity, because we want to be heroic and we want to have the happy ending, but like sometimes you have to have the not so great in the middle, especially when it looks like it's going to be the happy ending. So I really like how her arc unfolded and played out. I feel pretty pleased with it. I don't know if I would change anything. Raya's a little more straightforward than and other characters that I may have played. Perhaps.
Leona.
Literally any
What was
other
that?
character.
You ready? You have to popcorn.
Popcorn! I
Yeah.
did get the popcorn last time. Okay, Camille.
Jesus
It is
Christ.
It's
I
fun
would-
popcorning.
I would not change anything about that game at all. I'm pretty sure I did everything that Shade would do, in every moment possible. I had a great time playing her, and I felt like a lot of the times I was just along for the ride, with whatever Alex had concocted. I tried to throw a few wrenches, and it's like just throwing them into the void and just be like, bye wrench, see you later, and it comes back 3 sessions later and hits you in the face and you're like, Jesus Christ, why did I do that? It's fine. Like saying my secret soul ability, I didn't realize, like I did realize, but I also didn't realize what I was doing at the time. But short story long, no, I don't think I would change anything. Josh.
Yeah. The only thing I would change about this game is that I wish I had brought all of my spell cards with me to Florida for the finale. It's the only thing I would change. I left a stack of them here, and I was like, oh shoot, I learned new spells this level up, don't I? Oh. So I just went from memory. It's fine. It's all good. We had fun. I thought I was very satisfied with how the game went. I appreciated that Alex gave me a lot of leeway to do a very, very not narrative-driven story arc, because like 90% of it just happened in my head. It was very satisfying for me and probably nobody else, but I liked it.
A big mood.
Twas a good time, which is just me with my own headcanon. It was good. It was good. I was very satisfied. Y'all, it was a lot of fun. Okay, it was a lot of fun. All right, Mare, you haven't gone yet, have you? Mare.
I think overall I was extremely satisfied with Alanna's arc, from the very, very start, I had a very set start and end goal. I very much played her and her arc what felt natural and like what I was feeling in response to what was happening in the game. My other players know I was really super worried about the end of her arc at the end of the game, because I thought she was gonna end up angry and hateful, but it didn't go that way, which I'm very happy for. But no, I wouldn't change anything else at all. Red.
It's me. So, for Lucas's arc, there was one point before one of our, I think it was like our third to last session started, Alex gathered all of our brains into a cluster, and they said, hey, how do y'all feel about failure? And everyone was like, and I mean, everybody wants their characters' arcs to be tied up in a neat little bow, and we want things to feel nice and things to work out, which is understandable, you know? But I was sitting there and I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, honestly, I'm satisfied Lucas's arc ended the way it did. I'm very satisfied with that. The notion of having murdered everyone with the magic wine and the evil painting demon was great, but I feel like we probably made the better choice overall with like turning that into our power and making it a positive thing rather than just straight out cold-blooded murder. But I also would have been completely satisfied if I just fucking failed spectacularly. Like, honestly, I had no commitment one way or the other to how things turned out. So I'm satisfied with what's happened. I love the way it wound up. And I'll just say, A+++ plot twist with me signing the deed to the aqueduct over to myself because of surreal time travel bullshit shenanigans. I loved that. I think that was like the perfect finish to that for me, because finishing it was great, but then realizing that I wrote that to myself, I loved it.
I just feel like that's such a Lucas thing to do. Like, I don't know who really owns this, but also I'm going to sign it over to myself now.
It's a big brain move.
So,
Big boy.
because I know that this is the question that everybody wants the answer to, I'm going to steer away, if Stacy doesn't mind, from the group questions for just a second. And I know that Alex has an essay written for this answer. So Alex,
Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're
as the
gonna ask.
GM of Invisible Sun, how would you cast Hamilton with the Invisible Sun characters?
Okay.
Or
Unfortunately, I'm not as prepared for this as Camille was, because I don't actually have as large a cast of characters as Senmaria does. So I'm working with very limited things, and gender is just going to have to be a non-issue, because that's just what we're working with. I could really see Soren being Thomas Jefferson, because I feel like they have similar energy. I really very sincerely do.
That tracks.
I would love to see Soren singing fucking "What Did I Miss" in his German accent. That would be very much the best thing I could ever witness in my entire life. I could see Alanna doing Elizabeth Schuyler very well, because I think that Elizabeth Schuyler had a very compelling growth arc from this more one of the more reserved Schuyler sisters to in the end singing Burn to just being like, nah, fuck this, fuck it all. I could totally see her doing Elizabeth Schuyler. I could see Lucas being Aaron Burr. I don't necessarily know why. I think it's a voice thing, because I always perceived the Lucas voice to be very smooth, and I definitely think that Aaron Burr's voice / Leslie Odom Jr. as a person, they both have these very smooth voices, and I could also really see Lucas working with, wait for it, Lucas is this person who to some extent exists outside of time if they want to. They very much can wait for anything they want and be opportunistic, and there's nothing pushing them to do anything in terms of time. So I could absolutely see them being this person who thinks I'm not procrastinating. I'm not lying down or sleeping on the job. I'm waiting for my moment. I could absolutely see that being Lucas. Shade, I could absolutely see being Angelica Schuyler, who is probably one of the more probably the most fiery out of all three of them. Just because, I mean, they're both these really strong, powerful women who really don't take anybody's shit. Soraya is honestly kind of a wild card because
doesn't get to be in the show.
No.
She's one of the stagehands in the back.
Can she be the one that carries the bullet?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
God.
I was about to say that too.
Or could she be?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's almost too much. Yeah. Can I just be the bullet?
I believe Soraya is King George.
I was about to say that.
King George is too merry. That was my initial thought, but King George is pretty
merry about having disdain for everything.
Yeah, but I think
everyone is beneath King George.
Soraya, better than everybody except for possibly Mrs. Nusselt, can dunk on anybody. So yeah, I could totally see Soraya being King George.
I was actually curious if Shade doesn't also fit Alexander Hamilton.
I could definitely see Shade doing Alexander Hamilton.
He is a total scoundrel. Will sleep with anyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I am not throwing away my shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not.
I thought Angelica Schuyler first for her too, and I'm like, oh, she also works for Alexander Hamilton.
She absolutely does for Hamilton. And that's what I said. I don't have nearly the cast of characters we have for Zen Mario, so I do feel like we could do double ups, and we're of course missing a lot of characters.
Could I do a follow up and just ask which one Miss Nuzzled would fit in as?
Oh God!
Can she be the actual bullet that I am carrying?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah. Mrs. Nuzzled.
I can be both. She can be
shredding people.
Yeah.
Stacy.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody rude enough in Hamilton to be Mrs. Nusselt.
Oh God. Well, yeah.
Well, since we are on the topic of pinpoint questions, I don't know what else to call that. I'm gonna go for Josh. So, what did Soren do to make Shade his ex?
The answer is probably absolutely nothing. The answer is that he was probably just a little bit too passive. I was like, yeah, you know what? Just not gonna do anything here. No, Camille and I talked about it. Camille and I talked about this before starting, and we basically decided that at some point prior to the war, there was just this kind of joint agreement that, hey, you know what? We're going different directions here. And I don't think it was hostile, but it was just kind of like, hey, you know what? We're not going the same direction, kind of a deal.
So he did throw away his shot.
Can I add in on this?
Sure.
That's actually an entirely good answer from Soren. Is literally nothing. I don't think that Soren and Shade are really like. Whenever Josh and I came up with the idea that Soren and Shade were involved, we didn't want to like mess with party dynamics, and we still wanted to be able to be friends, and so it was important that they ended amicably and not because one of them hurt the other or whatnot. So yeah, and it was definitely before the war. We needed to establish that, but yeah, we agreed that it would be mutual.
Yep.
Definitely the first time I've ever played another character's ex-partner in a game before. I kind of liked it.
Okay, we're gonna pop back to some of the group questions real quick, and then we'll go back and sprinkle in some individual questions as we go through this. And this is for everybody, so do you have a favorite NPC that you encountered in the campaign? And for Alex, do you have a favorite NPC you portrayed?
I'm sorry, I find this to be incredibly funny because Emma Elizabeth was an NPC in this game, but she is a recycled PC. Emma Elizabeth was my Invisible Sun PC for the first game I ever played. I played for probably about a year, and she is the character that I very much like learned to role play with. I had played RPGs for a while before that, but like I didn't really like get a character until I played her. So I just had fun bringing her back. More specifically for this group, though, I really like Mrs. Nusselt. I really like just dunking on people. That was just fun. So probably one of those two.
I liked Kreider a lot. I liked getting to fuck with him. Yeah. Like, there's this guy who killed me, and then also you want to make out? Mindy hates me. That's all I'll say.
Fuck with him figuratively and literally. I see what we're doing.
I may be biased, but I liked the Frogman. Y'all, I'm just gonna say I loved that Frogman in that suit. Absolutely, 100% loved Frogman. So much so that I had to torment him mentally.
I liked Little Shade. I mean, I liked Emma Elizabeth too, but Little Shade was just, I thought, really well done. It was this beautiful balance of comedy, because what, but also this like very poignant, like meaningful bit of symbolism that you kind of were able to pull into the narrative. So I really liked Baby Shade.
Mare, I'm just gonna start calling on people if nobody talks.
The problem is I loved every single NPC. And besides the obvious and me screaming, I love Mrs. Nusselt every time she came on screen, like, everyone was so well differentiated from every other NPC. It's hard for me to come up with a complete favorite. Josh, go so I can try and narrow it down.
Yeah, so I feel like Baby Shade was my favorite one to see. But my favorite one to interact with was definitely the Blender Tree.
Okay, I've narrowed it down. Camille already said Kreider, because I also thought he was just a really cool villain, quote unquote. But I also really liked the Oldest House.
Okay. Good answers. So I'm gonna start bringing it back to all y'all's characters. For Shade, Soraya, everyone, what was the inspiration for your character? I'm gonna start with Ren.
Come on. Okay.
I'm pretty sure you answered this in Roleplay Cafe. Let's see if you...
I did? No, I did not.
So don't mess it up. Don't get
I'm
the wrong
sure
answer.
You did.
No,
I know the right answer, so if you get it wrong...
We did Roleplay Cafe before this.
Person.
Roleplay Cafe was before this was even a thing, wasn't it? At any rate. Honestly, I just kind of wanted to channel a really obnoxious, like, goth kid vibe, and I went for someone who liked a lot of ghosts and spooky stuff, and that was kind of what I went with. I originally wanted to go with like a classic, almost like a classic Victorian kind of style character, but it kind of warped based on how weird the setting was, and obviously the fact that I'm not good at that, but that was basically what it wound up warping into. So I'm just gonna leave it like that.
All right.
Would
Do
you like
you
to
want to
pick?
popcorn to anybody?
No.
Well, then it's nice to thank you for all you guys coming.
Then I will pick Camille.
I was gonna say I can go because I was really quick.
Oh.
I went 0 to 100. I ended.
If you don't,
okay.
unless you want to go, Camille.
Go ahead. I'm trying to hide Ren's face from the Zoom chat since they're
You
being mean.
hit Dax.
I did.
I think I kind of
Dax.
already answered it on how I built my character, but I didn't really have an inspiration. It basically was built off what I wanted to play and what fit.
So I want to ask you a question, Mare. Is Alanna different than all the characters that you've played before? Was she out of your comfort zone?
She wasn't out of my comfort zone because her reserved nature kind of fits more with how I portray myself in real life. But she is different from a bunch of my other characters that I play in offline games, which are more harder and harsher, and frankly a little bitchier. Ren and Alex can attest to this. I see your face, Alex. I want to read your captions for this. She's more empathetic than a lot of my other characters that I have played.
Alanna is bae. Popcorn, Mare, popcorn, quick!
Camille, because Ren went to do Camille.
I put a lot of myself into Shade. To no one's surprise.
Wait, what? Is that what that was?
Uh-huh. But my inspiration for Shade was Zoe Saldana in what's that movie where she's a trained assassin from Mexico?
Salt.
No. It's Zoe. There's a gif of her.
The Bourne Identity.
No.
The Bourne Ultimatum.
No. Not the Bourne movies.
Born Supremacy?
Shrek 2?
Colombiana, so she's from Colombia.
Scorpion 2, right?
Colombiana, shut up! And, yeah, that was a lot of my inspiration for I wanted to be as badass as her. That was my goal.
Well, you certainly pulled it off there. Mm-hmm.
Josh.
Yeah, so I named Soren after the famous philosopher Soren Kierkegaard. Because it's just basically me channeling all the nerdy stuff in my head.
You didn't name him after Kestra and Leona's brother, Soren Silvarian?
I sure didn't.
Dang it.
Didn't realize that was the name of a character until we went to go in the Discord, and I accidentally added...
Hey, can you copy my homework? Yeah, just change it a little bit.
Yeah, I went into the Discord to go create an IMRP channel with Ren, and I added Lee and not myself. And I couldn't see the channel. It was a good time. So that's how I found out that there was another character named Soren in Open for Adventure.
Was it just today, or yeah?
No. It was like at the start of the campaign.
Okay.
It was a good time. But yeah, I figure like Kierkegaard is known for being just kind of like really depressing. So hey, perfect. That's Soren in a nutshell. Yeah, I was just channeling my inner nerdy kid. Soren's secret name was also inspired by some philosophers. Yeah. So that's all it was.
Okay. Well, do you want to popcorn, or am I going to popcorn?
I would like to popcorn. Left. I would like to popcorn to Dax. What's your answer to this question?
Mindy?
Wow.
Great answer. Oh my god.
Wow. Okay. So
I am no longer giving you kisses on your boo-boos, Josh.
For those of you that may or may not know, I play another character on another campaign. Ooh. I play a bard oracle with pink hair. And her name is Leona, and some people equate her to a Disney princess. And so for this particular campaign,
Oracle.
God, I wanted to. This seemed like a perfect opportunity. So most of my characters have some element of sweetness to them, and this was being a shorter term campaign, I wanted to push myself a little bit in terms of role playing. I've never played a character quite like this. I mean, I've played sassy characters, I've played obnoxious teenage characters, but like this was a different level. And so Soraya was born of the idea of doing something that I had never done before. It was honestly a little intimidating.
I was intimidated, yeah.
That I wanted her to be, I think, I wanted her to be real, but I wanted her to be unapologetically a bitch. That was the motivation for Soraya, and it was very intentionally done because I wanted to see if I could even pretend to do it.
And you succeeded like a boss.
Now you'll know her true side. This is what I have to deal with every day.
BBEG all day, every day.
Stacy, who asked the last question? Was that you or me?
It was me.
It was Josh.
Okay.
So it is your
So
turn.
I'm going to go for something a little more lighthearted. And I want you to just answer by just giving a name. All right? That's your challenge. Who gives the best hugs?
Alanna.
Emma Elizabeth? No. Euphemia.
Okay. Quick, rapid fire.
Mothzilla.
It's nuzzled.
Ah! Crater!
All those
Oh,
hands.
God.
All those extra
No,
hands.
but really though.
Ooh, that's hard. I'd probably go with Alanna too, actually.
Please don't ever give Soraya a hug, but
Too late.
Yeah.
Alex, who do you think?
I would say either Alanna or Shade, because I
different
think that
reasons.
Soren is a little too awkward. Soraya is mildly sociopathic.
Mildly?
I'm trying to be nice here.
Fair.
Soraya's a
try-
bitch. Just say it.
I'm trying so hard. With Lucas, it's a 50-50 shot if you can even actually get like a hug, or if you're just gonna
That's
like
what I was
slap
gonna say.
yourself. So that's a mixed bag. But between the fact that Shade is a sex worker, so she's probably
fair.
experienced at least to some extent like that. Anyway, and Alanna is actually nice, so that's got to count for something, right?
that's like a weird.
Alanna, you get a hug if you want something comforting. You get a hug from Shade if you want to be picked up and swung around.
So, playing off the hug question, everyone except Camille, hands yes or no.
What?
Excuse me?
Camille gets it.
I know what it is.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
That means Mare and Josh need to raise your hands.
I think I get the question.
I think that's a half yes, half no.
Wait, what?
I think I get the question. Say the
I don't
question
know if
one
I
more
get the
time for me,
question
please.
anymore.
No, Camille got it.
I think
question is
Camille.
for
Say the question one more time, please.
everyone
Yes.
except Camille. Hands, yes or no.
Yes.
Right. And
Okay.
I did a thumbs down.
That's a double thumber for Alex.
I don't get the question.
I don't either.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back to the committee that gave me this question. They are in severe trouble.
Welcoming
Now I
committee,
need to
run.
know.
No,
Now I
it's
need
not
to
the
know who
welcoming
asked
committee.
it.
Don't blame
Is
my
the-
people.
Is the question?
How do you
So
feel
when
about
a
Kreider?
person
to
loves
Shade.
another person, no, just kidding.
I think the question
Is
is,
the
have you
question,
slept with
have you slept
Shade?
with Shade? Right? Was
Yeah.
that the question?
That's what I
don't
thought it
know.
was.
That's exactly
Oh.
word for word the question.
Then I
It
would have
wasn't
said
reference
that.
to Shade
That's
having
what I
sex with all the
assumed.
hands.
I assumed
So-
we were talking about Kreider, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, goodness, no,
Oh,
I'm
I
not
thought we
into
were
that.
talking about
let me-
Kreider too.
Can
thought
I
we were talking about
contextualize?
hands.
Because I think I know what this question means. So when Shade decided she wanted to sleep with Kreider in the dream, I mentioned that he had all of these hands, And so I believe the question is whether or not you would want the hands to say as you.
That's how I interpreted it.
Oh.
That is the question.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either.
It's alright, I didn't either. I just work here. It's fine.
Mindy, I feel glad that Mindy had the same idea that I did. Now I know I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you two are two halves of the same brain some days. Most days. Stacy.
But we got to know, hands, yes or no.
Yes.
I said no.
That is a no. No for Mindy.
Ren, would you hands?
I said yes to hands. All the hands. Yeah, go crazy.
I don't want
Mono, sí or no?
Oh my
Max, it's your turn to ask question.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's do one more group question, then we'll do a couple individuals. All right. So for some of you, you were really pushing your role play. So what did you do to get into character prior to each game?
Go, Mindy.
I listened to what did I listen to?
You Should See Me in a Crown on repeat for an hour.
Yep. That's all I did. I couldn't find any other songs that fit. I couldn't quite find anything that really captured what I was aiming for with her, so I listened to that one song on repeat for an hour while I got ready.
Perfect. Popcorn, or do you want me to popcorn?
Next.
I literally did the same thing. I listened to my playlist of sad love songs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say "See Me in the Crown" too. I was like, what?
Nope. I listened to sad love songs and just sad music up until like episode 7, and while I was getting ready and putting makeup on, and then it evolved into angry instrumental music.
Perfect. Mer? The popcorn.
Popcorn, Camille.
I listened to Bad Guy by Billie Eilish on repeat.
Billie Eyelash? Really?
Yeah.
That's 2 Billie Eyelashes.
Yep.
It's a sister thing.
Yeah, it is.
Sister. Your popcorn?
Josh?
So for the first week, I read a couple chapters of my History of Western Philosophy by Bertrand Russell, and I got through about the middle of the Greeks. Thanks, Camille. Love you too. I got through the Greeks, and then I was like, yeah, sure, that's far enough. Who cares? And then after that, I just spent like 30 seconds going, yeah, okay. So anyways, here we are. And then I was in character because it's literally just me with the trim.
Perfect. So perfect.
You're such a nerd, Josh. I love you.
The worst part is Camille and I did that at the same time. I just happened to remember to mute myself.
Shut up!
I'm sure my captions got it.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
All right, nerd. I mean, Josh. You want a popcorn?
Ren, is the limit wasn't gone?
Oh yeah, okay. I was like, I haven't been paying attention. I don't know who hasn't talked yet. Yes, Ren.
That's all right. Like, we'll start answering a question, and the first person will answer, I'll be like, "What the fuck question was this?" And then
every single question so far.
Every fucking person. What was the question again?
How did
you get into your character?
How do you explain channeling nihilism? Because that's what Lucas was.
Define nihilism.
Complete detachment from anything and feeling no meaning to anything. That's Lucas in a nutshell.
I would sit in a corner and stare at the ground.
That is exactly what Ren did.
2 hours.
It was just very much a way of detaching my brain from everything.
Method acting is bad, okay?
Okay.
You did a really good job getting into character, though.
You did.
I'm proud of you.
Careful with that, buddy.
I did it.
Alex prep for the game? Is there a routine you had to get into the mindset of Invisible Sun?
Oh yeah, I also have a question to tag on with this one too.
So I didn't necessarily have a method. I did have a couple of playlists that I would listen to during the week, just at random points, but it was nothing consistent, nothing intentional to get into the game. Honestly, it was more or less the same thing I do with all of my games for prep, which is basically think about it a bunch and think about what would be cool. You know, that's basically how I did it. So what we did is we had 9 sessions, and in Invisible Sun, there's an order to the universe that is presented, where there are 9 suns, and they are arrayed in order, so that you have, and each sun has a specific meaning to it. Like silver is the first sun, and that is associated with creation. Green is the second sun, and that is associated with growth and movement. And third sun is blue, which is associated with dreams and all that stuff. So basically, I would just think about like, okay, how can I make this interesting and include in the thematic element of each sun? And that's pretty much what I did. Just think over the week, like, how can I include the theme that I am trying to hit? But it was basically just thinking over the course of the week.
So speaking of getting into the themes of all the different types of suns, we all know that you were wearing different bow ties for each stream. Where do you buy your bow ties if one were wanting a snazzy ass bow tie?
So, fun fact, 8 of the 9 bow ties were, I don't want to say salvage, but they were repurposed. Most of them were borrowed from my younger brother's closet, who is in the Navy, so he has left a bunch of clothes at the house, and so I take what I need as I need it. So I borrowed a bunch of his. Our wonderful, wonderful, lovely Josh Simons was able to provide me with several bow ties for colors I did not have. And then the white bow tie that I wore for Pale Sun, I don't know who exactly in the group paid for it, but I know broadly the group paid for it. Mayor paid for it. So that came to me through Amazon. So while I can't necessarily recommend any shopping places for bow ties, I can recommend you befriend Josh Simons and or Mayor, and I can recommend that you get a younger brother.
Just go out and get them. They're everywhere.
I know. What you're saying is raid your brother's closet. I think my brother has bow ties, so
yeah,
I'll just raid my brother's bow.
I have probably like 30 bow ties, y'all.
You said 8 out of 9. 8 out of 9 of the bow ties.
Mm-hmm. You want to explain the last bow tie?
Oh yeah, so the last bow tie was the white bow tie that was bought by Mary.
Oh, okay.
No,
I think probably
last one.
Is that the invisible one where you didn't wear one?
Oh my fucking god! So on so I'm right now wearing. You can't fucking see it, but it is a bow tie with it's black and it's got white dots on it. And I was planning on wearing this last week, but then Mare had the Galaxy Brain 9000 IQ idea of just buttoning my shirt with the top button and not wearing a bow tie there, and just saying that the bow tie is invisible. Like, holy fuck! Why didn't I think of that? It was just I've never heard a more intelligent thought in my life.
Can we get a round of applause for Mare? Yay!
Yes, we absolutely can.
So speaking of Mare,
that idea brought me closer to enlightenment.
Speaking of Mare, the next individual question is for you. Now, for those of you that are watching Fourth Watch and haven't gotten through all of Invisible Sun, I'm really sorry, but there's going to be a spoiler ahead. Alanna has a blue sword.
Yeah.
Which is, first of all, badass. But
hell yeah.
The question that we have is, which came first, the picture or the sword?
I always had a sword in my inventory. Alex threw me for a fucking loop the first episode when it fucking spoke to me. So the sword came first, though when I was getting close to know when I was going to use it or start having it on me, I went Google searching and found something badass. Because her arc, I knew. I introduced her Vizsla name wrong in the very first episode. She was supposed to grow into someone who is a gallant. So, very gallant, noble person. And what noble person doesn't have a fucking sword?
I like it.
I do like it. I'm also going to ask a one-off question. I don't know what to call those. But Ren, Why ghosties for Lucas?
That's an excellent question. What, like, realistically, when we were character creating and I was picking my character's forte, and I had a handful of ones that I was looking at, and astral projection was the big one I was focused on, and obviously it's the one I picked. But every time I think about astral projection, I think about the old Jackie Chan Adventures show where they had the fucking sheep talisman, and you just turn into a floating ghost of yourself, and that's all I could think about with astral projection. So I figured, you know what? Forte's great, but let's just make the whole shtick that whole aspect of the character. So I just hyper focused. I went like 110,000% in on it and just decided to make that the thing for the character. So the astral projection forte basically shaped the rest of the decision for that character.
Perfect. Great answer. And I love that you referenced the Jackie Chan animation. It was so great.
Okay, y'all. Super serious question next. If your character was a cocktail, what would it be? Ren, don't
Whiskey.
make that face.
Neat.
You took mine!
That's why y'all were dating back then. Same.
Whiskey sour.
Rubbing alcohol.
Yes. Malort.
Yo.
Alanna would be a tequila sunrise.
Oh.
Is there something that you can drink that makes you thirstier?
Salt water.
Salt water.
Oh yeah, okay, that's perfect. There you go.
What about absinthe?
I was thinking that for Soraya, because who drinks that?
Yeah.
Me?
Oh.
Jeez, Josh was called
Damn,
out.
honestly.
See, and here I am thinking that there's got to be, they got some creatively named drinks out there.
Dark
Shade.
and stormy is what I get for both of the sisters.
Hey.
Hey. Alex, I'm gonna jumble this question up a little bit for you. If you could characterize the entire campaign in an alcoholic drink, what would you choose?
That's an interesting question. I'm not necessarily sure I could characterize the entire campaign, but I would broadly characterize Invisible Sun as an RPG setting at all, probably as absinthe, because it's weird. Nobody really knows what it is. It's mysterious. There's all this accoutrement that comes with it. It's utter bullshit.
Nice.
Hey, I worked at
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I fucking love this game, but also there's a lot of bullshit.
Acquired taste?
I worked at a distillery. I can tell you it's an absinthe. We made it.
Sure.
I can set you up with an absinthe fountain and walk you through it. Anyways.
I'm waiting. No, I'm just kidding. Dax, I'm gonna ask the next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you, the player, could go to a party with only one of the characters, who would it be and why? And this is for everyone. It could be
Like
an NPC if you want, or it could be a player character.
Is this an in-character question or
you the player?
Yeah.
So you, Mindy.
Which character would you go to a party with?
Okay, I'm not quite Soraya, but why am I going to a party?
Hey. So I guess you just party with
Stacy and I
then.
just work here, okay?
I'm not party. I will literally go anywhere. Will somebody please take me somewhere away from Soraya?
You go to a park.
Oh, I like a park. I don't know. Come back to me. I was just asking a question. I wasn't ready to answer.
I told you you should have studied before we started.
You yell at us not to look at the questions.
I
Dare. Would you like to go?
I can go. Yeah. So I'm not a party person, but I would actually go with Shade because I feel like she would be able to bring me out of my shell, but also if I wasn't comfortable doing something, she wouldn't push me.
Okay.
Oh, I was
I'm
muted.
gonna.
I was gonna say really quick. That means a lot, Mary. Thank you.
I'm just gonna popcorn because unless you want a popcorn, Mare, I know it's fun.
I will popcorn. Can Alex answer the question?
Yes.
Oh God, oh dear. So I agree definitely, Shade, because again, Soraya is mildly sociopathic. Lucas may or may not be dead. Soren is more a study buddy than anything else. And Alanna's, she's just, I love her, but she's not a party person either. So yeah, definitely Shade for very much the same reasons that Alanna said. I am not the most energetic person in the room at a party, so I would love to just hang the fuck out with Shade because I feel like she would do a lot of the work for me, and then I could just bask in it and be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I can just kind of sit in the shadow of Shade, who is everywhere, and I can just be, and I can just be here, hidden away. Yeah. So I would probably pick Shade too.
I'm actually surprised because usually the people who don't like to party usually want to have nothing to do with the people who are like, yeah.
Oh Lord, no. The characters in this campaign who don't like partying are awful.
Ren and Camille, who would you take to a party?
Go ahead, Ren.
I hate to rehash what everyone already said, but it's like as much as I don't like partying, I feel like I could go to a place with Soren, but I also feel like if I went with Soren, I would feel awkward about being at a place with Soren because Soren feels like outgoing enough for himself to be comfortable, but not outgoing enough for me to also feel comfortable with the party. So I feel like I would have to go with Shade as well for largely the same reason, like helping draw me out and make me feel good, but also not too much.
Unfortunately, my answer is not much different. I think Shade and I would get into so much fucking trouble. Y'all have no idea.
Yes, I actually do have an idea. So
I'm a bit of a riot at a party, so which is where Shade comes from, and I think we would be a bomb. It would be a bomb. Josh, I don't think you've answered.
I have not answered. Here's the thing. Soren and I would get along just fine at a party because we would grab a drink and be in the corner of the room and just talking forever. But I feel like Alanna would make the perfect DD because like you just know you're going to be safe. You are safe in Alanna's arms. You are home at the end of the night, and they'll tuck you into bed too. So I feel like one of the two, or the blender. The blender is a good choice because you always need a blender at a party.
Baby Shade.
Okay.
Baby Shade, so you can't have an excuse to leave early.
You didn't.
I have a child.
My God, no, that's
perfect. I can't stay. I have a child. Gotta head out.
Oh, there's this is a little rowdy. I need to take Shade home.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a bedtime. I gotta read her
as
book.
an excuse.
This is
How
perfect.
dare
Meanwhile, Baby Shade be like, yeah.
Stacy, we really should start putting our initials next to these names because I don't remember who asked the last one.
I've just been highlighting them, and I just realized how to strike through.
Okay, good.
Even though you told me how to.
It's okay. Oh, for your character, what is everyone's favorite headcanon? This is like the behind-the-scenes stuff that we want.
Hold on. Okay, clarifying question.
Yeah.
For our character, the favorite canon involving our character, or just favorite canon in the show?
Well, it said the question is literally what is everyone's favorite headcanon about their character?
About their character. Okay.
Yeah.
But is it a headcanon if it's just our character making that canon?
No, I've got an answer.
Okay.
A party dungeon orgy.
I'll believe it. Yeah. Mm.
Excluding Soraya or with Soraya?
I'm
just on opposite sides of the room.
No, I am not partaking.
Anybody else have answer, or
It's a
are
hard
we
question.
Are we
That is a hard
skipping this
question.
one? Do you want to skip this one? Okay, we'll just ask.
I
a
mean, how do you
different-
follow that up?
That's also true. I mean, Camille provided the perfect answer.
All characters going out to Subway and buying a sandwich.
Why would you go to Subway?
Because
don't
that's
know.
what you do. when you
I think
just
Stacy's
save the
leading
world.
into the next question.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is it?
There is a question that is perfect for this group.
There is. Is ravioli really a sandwich?
Oh
and
my
why
God.
is the correct answer is it's not.
It's been a great stream, y'all.
Okay,
But
no,
we're...
the actual question.
Also, if your character was a sandwich, which sandwich would it be?
That is the actual question.
Spicy Italian.
Look at these intense thinking. This is the hard questions. We're asking the hard questions.
Just a triple-decker turkey sandwich. Easy,
Oh, I
simple.
like that. I'd party with Alanna.
Probably like a bologna sandwich.
Ew.
Fried bologna or just regular bologna with cheese?
Probably just regular bologna with cheese.
That's a good basic sandwich. Take that fish in, you know?
Yeah.
Good sandwich.
Ew.
Like pseudo German, because it's basically liverwurst is basically fancy bologna.
Pretty much.
It's the worst. All right, bye.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Soraya is just bread.
Just a
Moldy
big
bread?
fuck you of a sandwich.
It's the ends of the bread.
No,
Oh,
see,
is it the ends of the bread with just mayonnaise?
Yes.
Or did you just eat out the center and it's just the crust?
Yeah.
It's like they
Does that
want.
count as-
They were gonna make an egg in the basket, and they cut out the middle, and they're like, "Oh, this piece is stupid." And they just throw it in the trash, and it ends up on another one.
Yeah. But they're but they are the ends with holes in them of the loaf. Yeah, that's what
really,
it.
Soraya wouldn't be grilled cheese, crunchy on the outside, melty in the exterior?
I think
No.
that's the better
No.
answer.
Minnie's like, fuck no.
She's the grilled cheese
Maybe
that
some
was
burnt
left out
cheese.
for a little bit because they forgot
Yeah, it's a
the
little
sandwich.
moldy.
Yeah.
Joke's on you. I actually like the ends of the breads, so
Well,
Butts, they're the best parts.
So, Alex.
So here's the thing. I don't have a character, but the ravioli is totally a sandwich because if you define a sandwich as some sort of filling surrounded by a carbohydrate matrix, that is absolutely a ravioli. And it's also a Pop-Tart. It's also a taco and a hot dog and the regular sort of generic conception of a sandwich. A ravioli is totally a sandwich. I don't know what that's just how it is.
Did you just say a
Stacey?
taco is a sandwich? Because a taco is not a sandwich.
Taco
Taco
is
has
absolutely a sandwich.
Taco is not a sandwich.
I am interjecting. I am putting my foot down as the other half of the Roleplay Cafe. Our reputation is at stake.
Is
I'm
it?
cutting this
I didn't
argument
even
off
know
right
we
now.
had a reputation.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you look at it
oh my
ontologically-
god,
No,
we are
gosh.
ending this stream right now.
Stop.
Ren still needs to
Like-
go.
Excuse me as I mark off the days we have last talked about sandwich debate.
I
Calendar.
feel like Lucas is just an open-faced sandwich, which is the least sandwich. So fight
Pizza.
me.
Is a
flat bread.
pizza a sandwich?
Oh my god, we're done.
All right. Anyway,
The open-faced sandwich isn't
alright.
even a sandwich.
And that's
bullshit.
Lucas. That's
it's an
Lucas to a
incomplete
T.
sandwich.
stop now, or I'm gonna have Camille mute everybody.
Oh my god, who made me host of this, co-host of this?
So Alex did. So this question is for everybody except Alex. Alex is not allowed to answer this question.
Get out of here.
Take
Go
that
on.
in.
And they will understand why as soon as I ask it. What was your favorite memory from the game that directly involved Alex as GM?
Fucking Angular Serpentine stream scene. That was unparalleled. That was really great work. I was honored to be the recipient of that dream. Truly.
Say it one more time.
What is
what?
your favorite memory from the game that directly involved Alex as the GM?
Does it have to be our character?
No.
I really, really loved when Alex just said, "Nope, Shade, you're not going back from the Pale back to Indigo." I thought it was a very powerful moment.
Anybody else? Ren? Josh?
Me, I'll be selfish and name one of my own scenes. I really liked where I liked the scene where Alex threw my secret name back in my face and used it to summon me to a contained circle, and I got to basically be a sassy ass ghost with a bunch of assholes for like 20 minutes. That was pretty fun.
Can I add another one?
Yes, of course
The whole
you can.
fucking we drank the wine sequence of like where we're sitting in the chairs and we're having those fucking other lives. Holy shit. That is some GMing brilliance. That is galaxy brain right there. I want to do it in a campaign now just because it's Doctor Who. Okay, well that makes sense.
Can we spend the whole second half just gushing about how awesome of a GM Alex is?
Yes,
Yeah,
go
let's do
ahead.
that. Let's do that. That's the plan.
So
If they don't cry, it's a failure.
We're not allowed to do that. No.
Yeah,
We're
this
doing
is
that.
this is
So-
make Alex cry time.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
I'm so excited. I'm so here for this. So I think, so there are a lot of, I think the problem with this, not the problem, but the struggle I have with this particular question is that as a GM, I felt like Alex did a really great job of providing these big moments that, that were mentioned, but I felt like they did a really great job of capitalizing on lots of small moments that kind of built throughout the entire campaign. And they maybe didn't feel there. I mean, and don't get me wrong, there were some real pivotal, like again, all the scenes mentioned were big and like wham bam, oh my God. But I felt like what made this so cool was all of these little things built up so beautifully within the narrative itself. And it was done very eloquently. There was always room to breathe, but it always had the right, just the right amount of spice and edge, so that, when we get to this layer over here, oh my God, this layer down here. And the way you pieced it together was just fantastic. So it's really hard for me to pinpoint a single moment, from a selfishly looking back, like every demon summoning, every description of the world that we were walking around, those little things had such a big impact on creating the tone and the world that we were living in. And it's hard to pick a single moment because it felt like every moment led into the next, built into the next. So yeah, I don't think I answered the question, but
You did. I was listening.
thanks.
Yeah. I agree with Mindy there a lot. I think all of the little details really wove together nicely. There was one moment that I really liked, not because it was anything like particularly like revolutionary or mind-blowing, but it was the I want to say in the 8th episode, it was the person on the street doing math rock, like solving an equation and doing music. I was like, oh, that's a self-insert. Cool, awesome. There's Alex. We're walking down the street. Hey, Alex, how's it going? And just like kept going. I was like, yep, that's it. That was it. Because at that moment, I was like, oh, yeah, cool.
Okay, what about Mare? Ren?
I already answered.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's
I did too. What the hell?
Did anybody answer?
What about you, Stacy?
Yeah, Stacey.
Well, I was gonna say, now that question is over and done with, I just want to give a really big round of applause for Alex. Can we get some yes in the chat? And can we get some hypes in the chat?
Hype.
Alex is a great DM and an even better person, and it's great to know them.
And they've got another campaign coming out on the new Marinara system.
A Marinara campaign.
That's canon.
Yes. So, Dax, do you want to ask the next question?
Sure. So as far as you as a player, Alex, as you as a GM, this question is for everybody. What is something that you feel you learned to do better, either as a player or GM, by being part of this game?
Go first. This was my first major game where I was able to actually get in character and stay in character and roleplay. So I think I just grew as a role player in general.
Good answer.
I feel like I had a lot of takeaways in terms of how to run a session very well from the GM seat. I think more than anything else, I took home, that's a brilliant way to do that in a session. I'm gonna steal that. And I think part of that is Invisible Sun and part of that is Alex.
Ren?
I'm thinking. I feel like this game in particular challenged me to work within the confines of a more constrained character. Lucas had a lot of really great abilities, but their capacity to actually affect and interact with the world around them through some of those abilities was limited. So I feel like this game gave me a good challenge of figuring out a way to be impactful in a more precise manner than what I typically expect that I can do in a game. And I thought that was a lot of fun to challenge myself with.
I mean, I think outside learning a new system, so this was the first full system outside of 5e that I have ever really delved into. Is that right?
That's right.
Words. Oh, okay. So beyond that, and I mentioned this earlier, one of the things that I was very intentional about challenging myself in a role play aspect. And one of the ways that I was challenged, particularly towards the end, and my fellow players and GM know this, because it was something that kind of was brought up within some of our decompression, was this: I am a very emotional person. I don't know if anyone knows that, but there's a reason Camille's weekly challenge is to try to make me cry. Not always a bad cry, sometimes a good cry, sometimes a happy cry, sometimes a crying for another character cry. And
have you cried every week?
No. Okay. I mean, no, mostly. So playing this character who, was much less sensitive, much less emotionally outward with their emotions, was difficult finding the balance when emotions did happen. So kind of walking that line and trying to figure out what that looks like for a character that's very different than me, like me, Mindy, me. That was good. And again, like I said, that was something that we discussed in decompression. And when you have a supportive group that you're playing with, they assure you that, yeah, that makes sense, or this makes sense, or this was good, or yeah. So That was a lot of words for a very simple answer. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's not a secret that I don't get to play very often. Primarily because I'm running like 1,000 games. Not to mention, everything else. But as someone who enjoys a very particular kind of game, and by that I mean all I really want is for a GM to love my character as much as I do. And no one has done that more than Alex for me. This game has been showing me that I can have the game that I want, and I can be with a group of people who make me happy to play with. And it doesn't have to be like all of those other times that I played where I was with a bunch of either really sexist people or people who didn't take my character seriously or a GM who didn't take my character seriously. And what I love about this group and Alex is that that does exist and that I can have it, and it's not just me having unrealistic expectations. Nobody cares more about our characters than Alex does, and that's how I feel when I'm the DM of my campaigns. And so it's that's why I always tell everybody Alex is one of the greatest GMs I've ever had the pleasure of playing for. So it's it was just a joy to play and not be running things and not be in charge.
I would also like to second that Alex is one of the best GMs I have ever played under.
Josh, I don't think I've heard from you yet.
Remind me the question, because I thought I had answered this one, but I'm not positive.
Josh answered it. He said he was going to steal some of Alex's GM.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So
I was like, I thought I had. Is this a new question?
Is it Ren then? Pretty sure.
Stacy, everyone answered.
Everybody answered. Oh my god, my brain, my big brain. I need to forgo me.
Does Alex still have to answer?
I think.
Alex, you can answer. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
And first of all, fuck y'all making me cry over here. Goddamn.
That was the objective. They succeeded.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a bunch.
You're welcome, honey.
Stacy,
can we get some more yeses in the chat for Alex Cran?
No, we can't. No, we're not allowed to do that. Anyway, I think I learned a couple of things. The two big ones were one, that you don't need a multi-year sort of epic type campaign that spans entire character advancement potential to tell a really good story. I thought that this was one of the best games I've ever run, and it never set out to be this thing where we're going to go from tier 1 to tier 6 and we're going to do all these things. It's like, no, we've got 9 weeks and we're going to do what we can in that. And just having an ending was just so satisfying. I think I've definitely realized that I don't need to strive for these incredibly long games, because that's just not me. I don't do well in that, but through this game especially, I've realized, like, okay, I can do the smaller compact story, at least to the extent where I end up enjoying myself and I end up feeling relatively satisfied that a good story was told.
Can I add on to that really quick, Alex?
Oh yeah, sure.
I would like to put out there for all of the GMs and DMs out there who are considering campaigns, and just remember that like 7% of campaigns set out and finish when they reach a conclusion. 7% of planned long-term campaigns reach a conclusion. Don't think that it's just you're setting yourself up for failure when you think, oh, this game has to go from level 1 to 20. I think that one of the main reasons why we're mainly accepting midterm campaigns like this one is because it's realistic, it's attainable, and it's sustainable. And I think, you proved that you can tell an amazing story with an amazing cast in just 9 weeks.
Beautiful.
Another thing I learned from this game had to do with callouts and self-care. So as anybody who saw it knows, the Red Sun episode that involved the mirror / the hate cyst and the parallel lives that a lot of our characters experienced was thematically incredibly heavy. There was a lot of very intense material there with respect to the emotions that were felt, and with respect to the trials that our players experienced. And even though I was not on the receiving end of a lot of those difficulties, putting that out there and then receiving feedback and having to engage in a lot of these, quite frankly, very depressing ideas was very draining on me as a person. In particular, speaking with Josh and describing Soren losing the ability to read and losing the ability to do math and understand the world around him, like even now, that is to some extent a pain to me. And while I love that scene and I think Josh did absolutely incredibly, I could not ask for anything more out of a player to deal with that kind of an incredibly momentous and weighty scene. Putting all of that into one episode was a lot for me. And I ended up feeling weird for like days after. But one thing that definitely helped was doing callouts after the session. For those of you who have not done this, callouts are basically 45 minutes to an hour of decompression, talking to everybody about things you liked about the session, things you feel vulnerable about, and just sort of like coming down off of that RPG high. Doing that was instrumental in me not like really having a problem with having presented a lot of those challenges. So if I had any doubts about callouts before, which I didn't, but that just the sort of self-care and interacting above the table with all of your players was it's absolutely essential. And that session in particular really solidified that for me.
I agree with that statement. With that, we have answered a lot of questions, but we are going to be taking our break. Don't go anywhere, but get up, stretch, walk around, take a drink, pet dogs, and we will be right back with a couple more of your burning questions. And stick around for a word from our sponsors. Yay!
Oh baby, I love your oh baby, I love your madness. It's Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high quality Dungeons and Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmarin. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Alanna, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. and our undying love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, open for adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi! My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by found familiar. Did you know that every bag of found familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of found familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by found familiar in conjunction with Devon Rue. Now that's canon. Found familiar coffee. Buy it today.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah.
Len, we're live.
Hey, hi, howdy, everybody. Welcome back.
Hey, hi, how are you?
I have to keep in the spirit of saying hey, hi, howdy, everybody, because this is an invisible sun. I almost said sunscreen. I almost said sunscreen, and oh boy, it's one of those days. So I'm gonna reel it back, and we're gonna do some individual questions before we head out for the night. But I want to ask Josh, what is Soren's favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Those exist?
in some timelines.
I am pretty sure that 90% of the liquids that Soren consumes are whiskey and coffee.
So coffee, unless it's alcoholic coffee.
Well, that's the thing about coffee. Put a splash of whiskey in it.
Do you know when you're drinking coffee, you're literally poisoning yourself?
And it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
It's my favorite thing. Oh, I've got to go order some coffee. Actually, hold up. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right, we already saw the found familiar ad here. Josh, you're not Express Love right now.
Speaking of poison, Camille. Shade was a total badass, and apparently the favorite party goer of every player. When it comes to picking your poison, what was the inspiration for her weapon of choice?
That's a solid question that I wasn't expecting.
That's what we do here.
I'm gonna get kind of sappy. So my partner is an avid guns person. Like avid's not the right word. He's very
well versed in guns.
Well versed in guns, yes. And when the idea came for me to play this character, I wanted to be useful in I wanted to be very useful in combat, even though this is not what this system's about. And when I built her, I thought it would be very badass if, it went with the cartel, the kind of weapons that they might use. And when I landed on guns, I asked my partner what his favorite gun would be, or his one of a dream gun of his, and that's what he said. So a Colt Python, or he kind of helped me. He was basically the inspiration for her guns. So yeah. Does that answer the question?
I'm glad my question got answered.
Oh,
yeah.
Stacy, what should we ask next?
Oh, let's see. Let's ask. Oh, should I try and tackle this Lucas one?
I mean, if you want.
Because I'm gonna butcher that.
I can ask that one if you're unsure.
Okay, let me ask the first part, and then you follow up with that word.
Sure.
Ren, does Lucas have
lupus lipophobia?
The fear of being chased around a kitchen table by timber wolves while wearing socks on a newly waxed floor.
No.
No?
Oh, Lucas isn't afraid of anything.
Oh, what if?
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, no. It's really? Come on.
But on a newly waxed floor, that's scary. What if you slip?
Then I hit my head and the wolves eat me. Oh, no. Terrible.
And if they're a ghost anyway, they don't have to worry about the floor.
Right?
All right, so I have a question. I believe there was one, maybe two players that this might apply to. For those who did not use them, what was your secret soul and your secret soul name?
Good question, Dax.
I think 3 of us used it, but we only found 2. We only heard 2 of the names.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure. So this is not exactly a group question because it is for specific people. So I think Ren and... Anyway, you guys know who you are. Go ahead and...
Who did not use their secret soul? Raise your hand. Okay, so Mare, what was your secret soul and what was its name?
My secret soul that I chose was the child. Mechanically, it just refreshes all your stat pools and gives you a joy. But I thought it was thematically appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And my secret soul name was Justitia, which is essentially Lady Justice.
Very cool. And Mindy?
Funnily enough, my secret soul was the same secret soul that Lucas had. And it was the Whisperer, just the Whisper, which just makes the next thing that you say truth to whoever you're speaking to. And the secret soul name was Bertha.
That is more
Great
than I
name.
could have ever hoped
No.
for, I'm not gonna lie.
No.
What do
No.
you mean, no?
No, that's a terrible name, Bertha. Are you a cow?
Bertha.
Excuse me?
Bertha.
Bertha.
That's why she
Man,
didn't use
I
her
would keep
secret
that
soul.
name secret too.
Exactly.
That's
Oh.
worth the trouble.
Just dunk it
my
on
God.
Bertha, I guess.
It was either that or Gertrude.
Did you like my secret name, Mindy?
Ha 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 ha!
I think we all loved it.
I loved it. I
those
love
who
bringing
don't-
that up.
For those who don't know, what was your secret soul name?
Leona.
I got her. So, I'm gonna go.
Wait,
Yeah.
no. Did we hear Soren's secret soul name?
I don't
Did you
think
use your secret soul?
I used my secret
did.
soul, but no one found out my secret soul name because no
Then
one else was there.
share.
It was
What is
Well,
it?
the house spoke it.
Oh.
What is
Everyone
it?
in the party would have heard it.
That's true. It was Emmanuel Datu.
That's who.
Datu.
That's true.
And for those who care to know, Emma Elizabeth's secret soul was the Abyss, which mechanically allows you to basically disintegrate one entity that you can touch with no level restriction or power restriction whatsoever. You just utterly consume one being that you can see. And her secret soul name was Depravity.
Wow.
Alex, that is creepy and terrifying as all get out.
I agree. So, I'm gonna pick on Alex. What is your favorite sun and why? And what is your favorite sun from an invisible sun setting sense and a thematic / meaning sense?
Okay, sure. I am going to be entirely honest. I don't know what the difference is between a thematic sense, invisible sun / meaning sense, and what is your favorite sun and why.
You want me to
Because I'm
clarify? This
assuming-
was my question.
Okay. I'm assuming you're talking about invisible suns,
Yes.
right? Okay, great.
The sun.
Yeah.
Ren
The
asked the
sun is my favorite
question,
sun.
and then I piggybacked on it. Do you have any clarifications before I clarify mine, Ren?
No.
Okay. So, which sun of existence? So, which realm under the sun?
Mm-hmm.
And then, which meaning, like what each sun represents?
Got you. Sure. So Indigo is definitely, as far as settings go, definitely my favorite. Which is no surprise. Indigo is by far, Indigo is referred to as the sun of truth. So it is the most real of all of the suns of existence, and that is the sun that is by far detailed the most in the setting that is presented to the GM. Specifically, the city of Saturnine is incredibly well detailed, especially as compared to the other suns of existence that are presented. So definitely Indigo is my favorite setting to play in because I love metropolises for running games. I love throwing players into cities because, in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to run the game because everything is there.
Isn't that what Marinara is? A big city?
No, Numenera is actually not quite like that,
okay.
which is going to be a challenge for me. But I love urban games. I love throwing my players because, like, what the hell am I going to do to my players as they're walking from rural point A to rural point? Like, fuck if I know. I could throw a troll at them, but like, is that going to do anything for literally any story? Like, probably not. So, cities are very, very fun for me, especially also with presenting my players with challenges that, you know, you can't just throw fireballs in the middle of the street.
Fireball.
How are you going to solve these problems? Broadly, I love cities, so I love putting players under the indigo sun for a lot of reasons. As far as thematically speaking, I really like the gray sun. I really like the idea that you can live these entire lives, but they're all just lies and figments. And I love the idea of things coming back from, you know, past lives to haunt you. I would really especially love the idea of bringing players or bringing an adventure into the Grey Sun, having a very sort of Doctor Strange type sort of action mode encounter where people are throwing around spells and throwing around these fantastical abilities in the midst of like a modern day type New York setting. The aesthetics of that would be incredible. But also the notion of like using all of these abilities and people just utterly being oblivious to all of it. I just think all of that would be just rad. And I love the idea of the players being connected to this other place that is fundamentally not real. So yeah, the Grey Sun is definitely one of my favorites as far as thematic content that I can use.
Perfect. Thank you for that answer, Alex. Dax, you want to ask a question?
Sure. Mindy, do you think if Soraya and Leona were locked in a room, would they become friends eventually?
Whoa.
It's an unstoppable force against an immovable object. Holy crap.
Oh no, my brain broke. Oh, I don't, oh my God, I don't know. Oh, I feel uncomfortable right now.
Maybe the question is, how long would it take?
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Leona is stubborn now. Soraya is also stubborn, but this is a different kind of stubborn. Oh my God, I don't like this question. It's so hard to jump back and forth in my brain from both of these characters. I do think it's possible. I don't know how long it would take. And it definitely, I don't think it would be like a long-lasting friendship. I do think it would definitely be we're stuck in this space. I will begrudgingly whatever. And then as soon as they're out, I think, you know, they're probably both okay to go their own merry way. I don't.
Can I quickly ask an extension to this question?
No.
Okay.
No, you can.
Okay. Who do you think is more pleasant, Soraya or Kesra?
Kesra.
And then Goat also just asked another question in the Discord. But how frequently would Leona use sending to check in on Soraya?
A little too frequently.
So the good news is Leona has a lot of people she likes to cast sending to, and she's not always great at doing it in like one message. So like, odds are she'd be at the bottom of the list, so she'd run out of spell slots. So Soraya might be safe in most cases. I hear. What was that, Camille?
Hi. I was thinking, you have two sisters, Kessera and Shade. Who would you rather have be your actual twin/older sister?
Good question.
I'm not asking you to pick between who your favorite is between me and Kate, but I am asking. You better get this right.
No,
I
wait.
feel
Now
like
time out.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah, I know this is a trap.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Answer the question.
Child.
Miss Nussel.
Mrs. Nussel.
I feel like
I
Kessera would
think-
care more. Right?
I think
Then Shade?
Yeah.
I think it's a different kind of caring though. I don't
Yeah.
think she would care more than Shade. I think it's not really a you or her because Kate is not at all Kessera.
Nope, not even a little bit. And I'm not really Shade.
But I think for me as Mindy, I think as stubborn as Leona is with Kessera, I think that would be really difficult for me. And Shade, although she is wild and would do things that terrify the crap out of me, she's a little more capacity for emotional connection, an openness with that I would need, because I have feelings. And I do think there's an element of extroversion that would be healthy for me to have as an example, as a buffer's not the right word, but as a I don't know, model.
Killer? Yeah.
So
Thanks for answering my question, Mindy.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm taking up too much time. I'm gonna walk away now.
You're good. So we have one more individual question, and then if the group will allow me, I have one more group question that I think would be a fun note to end on as a send-off, if that's okay. Josh, you have lots of nerdy things you could draw from. Why philosophers? Why'd you hone in on that particular thing?
Hey, you're a real nerd. But
You
why
right.
did you pick that nerd? Stuff that you know.
I was interested by the fact that the Invisible Sun universe has these themes of reality and truth and things not appearing the way they seem. And so I really found that to be interesting because my capstone project in college was like a 30-page paper on whether or not words had meaning. So like I dig it. That's why. Yeah, I mentioned this in our like final callouts thing. Like one of the like first like conversations that Camille and I had when we were like first becoming friends, she legitimately made fun of how many times I used the word philosophy in like an hour. And so I was like, okay, like it's just part of how I think about things. That's why.
I will say, whenever I found out Soren was a philosophy nerd, I'm like, of fucking course he is. That is a great first impression of me. I'm hilarious. Go fuck yourself, Luke.
Camille is hilarious.
No,
Can
Camille
vouch.
shamed me into being her friend. It's true.
I did.
You're kicking Luke in the chat. Damn.
Hey, Camille's watching chat, all right?
Luke knows I love him.
All right. So the last question that I want to ask, because I just think this is a really fun concept for everybody. And Alex, you can pick an NPC, whoever you want, for this question. If you could set your character up on a blind date with any celebrity, which celebrity would you choose for your character? Ren, don't make that face.
This is hard when you don't know celebrity names. I just always default to The Rock.
Same.
Same.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is my default.
That's literally my default. That's who came to mind. I was like,
Oh
that's
my God,
that's not a good
Mindy.
fit. Yeah.
Mindy, default.
Dead or alive?
Oh God.
It's shades, so I will allow you both. No,
Well,
seriously.
so
though,
it's an indigo, and you. There's who cares?
Why do I
seriously,
keep on
whoever you
coming
want.
back to Justin Trudeau?
Because that's a never mind.
Because that's a Camille bucket list? Fuck you, Mindy.
Alex, for you, just in general. As you, Alex.
I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that came to mind was now this is not a celebrity, but it is like a celebrity character, like a fictional. Would be Professor Snape.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That face.
So Soraya's going out with
You're
Ellen.
so
Rickman,
proud of
got
yourself.
it.
I am. Hey, it's just a lot of black in the wardrobe.
Mhm. It looks like you're up to something.
I think I would set up Alanna on a blind date with younger Julie Andrews.
Okay. Ren, Josh? Remember, your default can always be Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I will allow it.
This is tough. For some reason, I feel like Soren and Emma Watson would be good because she's like really smart, passionate about like good causes. I feel like that could work.
Okay.
I don't have a good answer for this.
You want to default to Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
No, just to be difficult, I'm just gonna say Vincent Price. Come at me.
I don't know who that is, but we'll just assume that you're being difficult. Alex, do you want to default to Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I am not going to default to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I do have two different answers. One would be like, I think, so bear with me here. This is for Emma Elizabeth because I know her the best. I think Elon Musk, not because I like him at all, but because I think Emma Elizabeth would eat that man alive. I think she would slaughter him in every way, and I, Alex, would find that incredibly entertaining. So, but in terms of, I'm also going to say fictional characters because I don't know how any of these celebrities are in real life. I think that Chris Pine's Captain Kirk, because he is just the right amount of like dumb son of a bitch, but also actually competent and kind of decent at what he does, that I feel like she would just find him to be amusing enough to actually be worth getting to know.
Perfect. Camille, I saw what you wrote.
Camille, what the fuck?
What is that?
I don't know. I feel like it would be a standoff, death match. It'd be great.
Or it'd just
This
be
is
Crider
a
all over
death
again.
match.
It might be Crider all over again.
It's just MTV Celebrity
There's
Deathmatch.
just no telling with Shade.
And with that note, I think we are going to end the stream here. But before we do, we have a very, very special thing. It is Ren's birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Okay.
Birth. We won't
Happy
sing because
birthday.
Ren is not a big birthday singer. But
Yeah,
we
we
will at
won't
least
sing,
wish
but
them a happy
we
birthday.
do wish Ren a very happy birthday. It's also Graham's birthday. I don't think he's in the chat, but happy birthday,
birthday.
Graham!
Happy birthday, Graham.
Birth Graham.
Happy birthday, Graham.
Birthday twin.
Birthday, buzz! So, who could have known?
Trying to get a happy birthday song.
Who could
That's
have
copyrighted.
Copyright.
That's copyrighted.
Happy birthday is copyrighted?
Yes, it
Heck
is.
yes, it is.
By who?
Someone, but it's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Don't play
It's
with
a
that.
whole thing.
How about
It's
this?
Warner.
Oh,
It's
no.
fucking
It's
Warner
awesome.
Brothers.
I was definitely just talking this whole time, and I was definitely muted the whole time. I was making loud noises so that we didn't get in trouble.
That's gotta be
Thank
public
you, Mindy.
domain. That's
It is
ridiculous.
Oh, it's
not.
fucking Warner. They own
There's
it.
a lawsuit
Holy
about
crap.
that right
There
now.
is actually a lawsuit about
Those
Happy Birthday.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, nobody wants to
The
have a happy
birthday gnomes.
That's why they don't sing it in TV shows or movies.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why at restaurants they go happy birthday.
In
from all of us."
2016, Warner Chappell settled for $14 million, and the court declared that Happy Birthday to You is in the public domain.
Oh, that's new then.
I mean, it's 4 years ago.
That's what
Was
4th Watch
there-
is for.
That's
the more
rough.
you know.
Compared to the age of the Happy Birthday song, I feel like that's relatively new.
All right. So we're gonna end the stream here. Thank you all for joining us. If you are not in the Discord yet, put !Discord and join us and hang out with us. It's a really fun time. We have other streams. Unfortunately, Invisible Sun is over, but Alex is going to be running another campaign, so you can watch them do their GM thing again on a different stream. But I'll let them talk about that. So I'll pass it on to whoever wants to sign off. All right, Mindy. Go.
Hi, I'm Mindy. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button. Hi, I'm Mindy. You can find me on Twitter at not that anymore at what's my Twitter? Miss Mindykins. I know how this works. This is gonna be a hard habit to break, y'all. You can find me here Monday nights, playing Leona for Camille. You can find me playing games on my Twitch, Miss Mindykins. I think that's it. It's weird because I usually would. I feel like I'm missing something, but I think that's it. Oh, you can find. Yeah, I already said that. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Oh my god.
Okay. Alex?
Okay, so when the motherfuckers you see before you are not making me cry on fucking 4th Watch, goddamn. I, on Sundays, play a paladin in a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign run by the wonderful and fantastic Camille, who you see, she's down there on the overlay. Yes, that game is great. And Ren is also in that game, and they are also great in that game. So yeah, if you want to see a really cool Dungeons & Dragons game, come tune into Sunday Friends at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central on this very channel, and it's super rad and super neat. Other stuff I'm working on is I'm slowly casting and putting together a campaign of Numenera, which is a science fantasy game created by the same company that created Invisible Sun. There are large amounts of similarities, and if you ever wanted to watch a game in which a character injects themselves with a lizard, you should watch that game.
Mare?
Hi, I am Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. No longer crying Invisible Sun tears, but you can find me here tomorrow as we pick back up on Sunsets on Summer, which is our Elder Scrolls D&D 5e campaign run by our lovely goat. That is at 6 p.m. Central. I don't have a lot to plug. I am also in the middle of casting a couple games, a short term and a one shot.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ren. And this is my sign off. You can follow me on Twitter at Thorny Dryad. That's like a prickly bush. And you can also find me on Twitch at the same name, occasionally streaming things like being a dolphin or being really fast. I am in the Sunday Friends campaign, as Alex mentioned. It's a Sunday game of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in which I play a halfling fighter. And it's a good time. Starts at 3 Central. This was my Thursday night, but now I don't have Thursdays anymore. So I'm sure I'll find something else to fill my time. But for now, that's all I've got. Oh wait, no. I'm also on a podcast called Roads Uncharted. I'm a character called 8, and I'm sure Jax will say something about it too. But please listen to that.
Okay. All right.
Hey, what's up? Hi, my name is Josh. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Joshua M. Simons, which is my name. I stream here on Twitch on Wednesdays and Sundays, usually. Some random nonsense some other days. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something fun in the near future on one of those not days. But hey, it's fine. Whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. Here at O4A, you can find me on Tuesdays, where I am part of Juan Carlos's Modern Gods campaign. And starting not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I will be doing a short 3 or 4 session Dark Matter campaign, which is going to be super fun. We've got a phenomenal cast. We have announced that now, so everyone who is in it, you can go and see who they are. There's some cool art, and it's dope. So go check that out. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's D&D, but it's space. So, space. Other than that, you can see me on the ad reel here every stream. And stay tuned for some cool stuff happening in the near future that I can't talk about yet.
Awesome. I'm Camille. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. You can also find the channel at Open4Adventure. Sometimes I make dice tray. My dice tray business is closed while I get ramped up for my new job. You can find me doing pretty much lots of things on Open for Adventure. I run Sunday Friends and Monday Friends, and I'm starting a new Saturday Friends, aka Faith Chosen, and the new Asburn campaign. Still wrapping up casting decisions for Asburn campaign, so keep your ears peeled for that. We will be starting around August 5th, so the cast should be announced by the end of the week. Yay. That's me.
Yay.
Wait, it's August 6th. How can you be starting on August 5th?
I mean September 5th.
Okay.
Okay. I want to make sure. I'm like, what?
Camille is going back in time. It's okay. She can do that. I guess since I'm talking, I'll go first.
Look,
Go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to say, look, if anyone could.
Hi, I'm Dax. You can find me on Twitter at GM_Dax. I am the co-host of the Roleplay Cafe, and I'll allow Stacy to chat a little bit more about that. It's an Open for Adventure podcast. But I am also the GM for Roads Uncharted, which is a podcast that Ren mentioned they are a player in. And I am currently looking for some players, so if you are interested, reach out to me either on Twitter or the Discord, and I will send you a link for that. But you can find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Perfect. And my name is Stacy. I go by Pixacat. That's 2 T's and an underscore. While I'm not doing this, I do art. My commissions are closed right now while I'm trying to catch up. But I'll open them again soon. And then I am another co-host on the Roleplay Cafe with beautiful Dax, where we interview people from the TTRPG community and quiz them on things that they don't know anything about. That's what I have going. Again, you can find us tomorrow playing Sunsets on Summer Fridays at 6 p.m. Mare's in it, and it's DM'd by our wonderful goat. It's a fun time. So make sure you come back to this channel for that, and we'll see you then.
Mindy, we take care of our warm fuzzies before we go?
Can I get an updated Warm Fuzzies list?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure you know most of them to start off with while I send it to you.
So we've got the Belt Chavez.
Woo, woo, woo.
And we have Orion.
Orion Stadber.
And we have Gamer Life.
Gamer Life to the 1 and a 3.
We
Games
have
are my life.
Sev. And we have Christina.
Christina.
Yeah.
And then we have Quincy.
Quincy.
We have PJ.
PJ.
And we have Andrew, Fellowship of the Tables, Bay of Geese.
Of Gifts.
Yay! Thank you.
Cinna's even down here giving the warm fuzzy screech, so I hope y'all are happy.
Yay! We love you all.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, bye, sweet friends. Bye.
Bye.